the hormones, sex hormone of the woman, and they are the combination of the estrogen and progesterone, which are synthetic in nature. Estrogen generally control the menstrual cycle in the woman, while progesterone control the ovulation in women. So these drugs are generally, one of the example of this kind of drug is norethindrone, novestrol. All these drugs have some kind of side effect. That's why these drugs should be uh, taken by the advice of doctor. We will see another topic, chemicals in food. Those chemical substances which can improve the property of food items are known as food improving chemicals. They can increase the appearance, quality and odor and taste of the food items. Under this section we will study only about the artificial sweetening agent. Generally, we use the sugar and fructose for increasing the sweet taste of our food item. But these type of compounds increases the calorific value of our food material, and they are harmful for the body of diabetic patient. So diabetic patient cannot take them for improving the sweet taste of their food item. So they use generally another type of chemical compound known as artificial sweeteners. Now, what are artificial sweeteners? Artificial sweeteners are those chemical compounds which can improve the sweet taste of the food item without improving or mixing calorific value to the food items. Such type of chemicals which can increase the sweet taste of the food item are as given below. For example, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, allitame, etc. Saccharin is the most popular artificial sweetening agent. It is about 550 times more sweeter than sugar. While it is not biodegradable, and it does not increase the calorific value of a food item, and it can come out from the body through the urine as it is. Similarly, aspartame is another more most popular artificial sweetening agent, which is generally used in place of sugar, and it is about 100 times more sweeter than the sugar. Topic, antioxidants. Antioxidants, what are antioxidants? We will see. The chemicals which check the oxidation of some of the processed food items like potato chips, biscuits, cake, etc. are known as antioxidants, are known as antioxidants, and these type of compound generally decrease the oxidation property of the food item like potato chips. For example, butylated hydroxytoluene BHT and butylated hydroxyanisole BHA, known as cleansing action of chemicals or chemicals in cleansing action. So what are the, you can say, cleansing agents? Cleansing agents are those chemicals which can make the surface layer in a particular liquid like water. That's why they are also known as surfactant, and they generally decrease the surface tension of water, and they also make the film on the surface. They also remove the dust and grease particle from the surface of cloth. Cleansing agents are divided into two types. They are known as soaps and detergents. So we will see both these type of cleansing agents one by one. First, we are looking here about the soaps. Soaps are the chemical compound of higher fatty acid like linoleic acid, stearic acid, uh, and palmitic acid, etc. Are sodium and potassium salt of higher fatty acid like uric acid, palmitic acid, stearic acid, etc. And soap is produced by the action of glycerol on uh, heating glycerol with sodium hydroxide, concentrated sodium hydroxide solution. This reaction is known as saponification reaction. We will see this reaction here. Potassium soap is known as skin soap because it is soft in nature, and it is made by the reaction of glycerol with the potassium hydroxide. So it is used for cleansing of our skin. And now we will see here about the types of soap. There are many types of soap. One is known as toilet soap, another is known as floating soap, and another is known as laundry soap, and soap chips, paper soap, etc. are possible. These type of soaps will be generally methionol soap is also there. This methionol soap is used for increasing the antiseptic property and fragrance of the soap. Soap cannot be used in hard water. Why it is so? Because soap can react with the calcium and magnesium salt present in hard water, and it generally make a kind of white precipitate known as scum, which it does due to which the dirt particle and dust particle of the cloth cannot easily remove, and will scum is present with the cloth. So we will see how this type of reactions of soap will calcium and magnesium salt will take place. We will see. So this is the formula of our soap. It is soap, and this is calcium salt, calcium chloride, which is present in hard water. So it will produce here C17. Similarly, when it will react with the magnesium salt like magnesium sulfate, then it will again produce same type of scum as it is shown here in this reaction. Known as detergents. Detergents are other type of chemical which are known as cleansing agent, and they can be used in place of soap, and they are also known as soapless soap uh, because they have the properties of soap, but they cannot contain any type of sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acid. That's why they are known as soapless soap. And in case of detergent, generally detergent can work even in hard water. Detergent may be defined as uh, sodium sulfonate, or they can also be defined as the sulfate salt of long chain hydrocarbon containing 12 to 18 carbon atoms. They have the property of cleansing just like the soap. Detergent work even in hard water because detergent when react with the calcium or magnesium salt of the hard water, these calcium and magnesium salts are also soluble in water. That's why our detergent can easily work in hard water, and it can also work in acidic solution, while our soap cannot work in acidic solution. Now we will see here type of detergent. There are three types of detergent. We will see here three types of detergent. About the anionic detergent. Anionic detergents are called so because the large part of their molecule is a kind of anion, and generally the anionic part of these detergent is involved in the cleansing action of detergent, and these detergents are divided into two types: alkyl sulfate and sodium alkyl benzyl sulfonate are two kinds of anionic detergent. We will see the example of both these type of detergent one by one. Sodium alkyl sulfate. The example is now we will see sodium alkyl benzene sulfonate. The structure of this compound. Cationic detergent. These detergents are so named because the major part of their molecule is a kind of cation, and this cation is generally involved in the cleansing action. That's why these type of detergents are known as cationic detergent. These detergents are also known as invert soap because these detergent can uh, work only by the cation, while in case of soap, the soap work by use of its anion. Kind of detergent are cetyl trimethyl ammonium sulfate or cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. We will see the structure of cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide here. Now we will see non-ionic detergent. Non-ionic detergent are those detergent which do not contain any ion. Means they do not have any charged ion. That's why they are known as non-ionic detergent. Ionic detergent are the esters of high molecular mass alcohol, and they generally produced by the reaction of ester with polyethylene glycol. So we can give an example of non-ionic detergent as it is polyethylene glycol ester is a kind of non-ionic detergent. We will see disadvantages of detergent. Detergents are so some kind of disadvantage because they are non-biodegradable in nature. That's why they generally exist in the water bodies or waterways for a long time, and they cannot be degraded by any microbes. That's why they are harmful for water body. So we will see another topic that is known as cleansing action of soap or cleansing action of cleansing agents. So as we know very well that the cleansing action of soap is possible due to the micelle formation, and we know very well that what is the cleansing action of our soap. Generally in a soap molecule two parts are present. One is known as hydrophobic part, which generally repel the water molecules or water, and another part is a tail part that is known as the hydrophilic part or water loving part. This is a water soluble part, while hydrophobic part does not dissolve in water. When we dissolve a soap in water, it generally make a type of solution known as soap solution. In this soap solution generally the hydrophobic part of the soap molecules come close to each other, and they make a type of structure known as micelle. Micelle is a kind of spherical shaped structure in which the tail part of soap molecules will be insert inside that spherical part, and the head part, which is water loving part, will be outside of the sphere. And when we keep any type of cloth in this soap solution, generally these micelles react with the uh, grease particle or dirt particle, and they generally insert their tail part in the grease droplets or oil droplets, and separate the surface of these oil or grease droplet from the cloth surface, and these oil particles come out from the soap solution, and in this manner we get the clean cloths. So this is the, you can say, action of you can say cleansing action of our soap. We can see here that how the, you can say, we can perform this activity. So we will see here this type of activity. This is the structure of soap molecule. We will see here. This portion is known as tail portion, and this portion of the soap molecule is known as head portion. When we will dissolve this soap molecule or a large number of soap molecule in water, so they will generally produce this type of spherical shape in which the tail portion will be inserted in this you can say sphere or micelle molecule, while the head portion will be projected out in this molecule in this manner, and we will get this type of shape of the micelle particle. So this is a micelle particle you are looking here. When we will put this micelle in cloth in this micelle solution, so generally in this Michel solution, generally as we will put any cloth having dead particles, so these tail portion of the soap molecule will insert in the grease droplet or dirt particle, and the you can say dirt particle and or grease particle will come out from the cloth. So this is known as cleansing action of our soap. Thank you. Now you all will solve some of the questions of unit chemistry in everyday life, which are shown here. So complete these questions. We will see the second question, question number 2. Here you will solve this question number 2, which is given here. I am taking the second question. Okay, now you will solve these questions.